Now it's time for the business news, and Simon is here. Property we're talking about again.
Yes, going to look in the tea leaves in the property market with an expert view from Henry Pryor, because property asking prices fell for the second month in a row as the market was hit by oversupply and subdued activity during the summer holidays. Sellers cut prices nearly 2% in July to entice buyers. The number of sellers joining the market during August, traditionally one of the quietest months of the year for property professionals, is the highest for 3 years, suggesting that nervousness about the sector is not deterring people from putting their homes up for sale. As I say, we've got independent housing expert Henry Pryor. Morning, Henry. Second month in a row. Why are all these sellers coming to the market now?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. We're seeing supply of available property, available stock, rocket at the moment. Something like 4,500 new properties coming onto the market every day, but they're only selling at the rate of about 2,500. So there's a great oversupply now building up, and this pressure behind the market is probably almost certainly going to have a downward effect on prices.
And we saw in the introduction I mentioned that we've seen Rightmove say that sellers cut their asking price by 2%. As this oversupply builds, presumably that number's going to grow.
Well, it is, and remember, this is a survey. We get monthly surveys. This is the monthly survey on asking prices. That gap between the average asking price and the average sale price is usually about £40,000. Well, today the gap is still a staggering £64,000 between the average price that someone's asking for the house and what they're actually selling, those that are fortunate enough to be able to do so.
So this is definitely a supply-driven thing then, because we have seen, bit by bit, the number of mortgage approvals pretty much creeping up from a pretty low base. So it looks as if the mortgage approvals are out there, then their buyers should be out there. So this is a sell-side driven thing.
I think that we're seeing downward pressure on prices because of this oversupply. Yes, we are seeing the mortgage approval numbers creeping up, but typically about 15% of all transactions are cash transactions, ones that don't require any form of funding or mortgage at all. Well, today that's about 30% of all transactions that have no mortgage involved. If you're putting a house on the market today, you've got about an 8% chance of being able to sell it in the next month. And even if you left it on for the next year, you've still only got about a 35% chance of selling. It's because houses are selling at such a slow rate relative to the number of houses that are on the market.
And very briefly, where do we go from here in terms of house prices? Let's say asking and/or actual, the prices at which they actually sell.
Well, both asking prices, as reported by Rightmove today, and sale prices, which are the traditional indexes we get from Halifax, Nationwide, and indeed the Land Registry, are all pointing downwards. We're sitting in the middle of the summer, as if we were at the top of the Big Dipper, looking, I'm afraid, starting to stare over the edge.
All right, Henry, thanks very much indeed.